Hi everyone, it's Chloe from Papercraft Menagerie, and I'm back today with the second part of the Botanical Lapbook. After considering it for a week and watching some more inspirational videos, I've decided to turn this box into the journal itself and have an elastic strap on top of the lapbook that will sit just in here and make it so that you can remove the journal still. So today we're going to be fixing up the back, turning it into a journal, and starting on the construction of the lapbook cover. And just to give credit where credit is due, this idea of having the notebook on top, although I'd already kind of had the idea, the alteration came about after watching Mad Paper Crush's lapbook flip through. I also got some ideas off Nick the Booksmith. You know, she's pretty famous for her lapbooks, so if I hadn't have gotten ideas from her, I would say I wasn't very well researched. Meditative scrapbook and textile art, Cat Urato, I hope I pronounced that properly. Queen of Oakley Wood, Clara Cavita, I hope I pronounced that right as well, and Michelle Ray Landry. So those were just some videos that I flipped through, and a couple of the ideas are directly from their flip throughs, but a couple of them have kind of were sitting in my brain for a little while and became a little bit altered and then sprung to life. So let's get started on fixing this up. My first step is putting something on the back, because now that it's removable, I want the back to be pretty. So now that's finished, let's put some signature pages in. So for these plainer pages, what I'm going to do is just use hole punches and scissors just to kind of decorate a side, just to give it a little bit more interest. So for this one, I'm just taking my little rectangle one, and I'm just going to punch some holes in one of the sides. I might measure it out just to make it a bit more exact. And then punch the holes. For some of these, I'm also going to actually tear the holes so it looks like it's been ripped out of a spiral notebook. So to punch the holes in the signature, I've just created a template and I just put it in the center, and that just makes sure that all the holes are in the same place. So I made it the height of the pages, and I just slip it in there. It should be about the same because I measured 1.5 centimeters and then measured to the middle. It should be close enough that it shouldn't be too much of a difference. But if you just eyesight the holes, make sure you put top on the template so you know which way is the top, which way is the bottom. And to put the holes in the spine of the journal, I just lined up the template and then used a ruler to get the correct distance between signatures. And then I'm just using the same thread that I used last time, and hopefully what's on here will be enough. Might be enough for 2. So I'm just going to pick a signature and make sure that it's the right way up. Okay, and then you go in through the middle hole, into the spine, and then in through the top hole on the spine, and then the top hole of the signature, and then through the bottom hole and back in the middle hole. And then I'm just pulling it tight and then tying some knots. So now the journal is constructed. It's got 3 signatures in there, and I just made sure that the pages were all under the size of this flat back piece, just to make sure it all fit. And I made sure, any with tabs, made sure to double check that was going to fit. So for the lapbook base, I'm going with 2 books that are about the same size. I believe the yellow ones are slightly longer, but I'll make them the outside ones. And they're just a bit bigger than the journal. So I'm going to take the covers off them. So I'm going to use tape to join it all together, but then I will use material to cover the tape. I've just picked the same material as what we covered the journal with, just to make it match. So now we have the material on, I'm just going to ink the edges. Now that the inking's done, I'm just going to choose some appropriate paper and cover up the pages that don't quite match the theme. So I'm going to cover up the horse ones and probably just this one with the cookbook, but the rest work quite well. Now we have the unsuitable pages covered up. I'm going to put in the holes and put in the eyelets on all the pages that I know we're going to have eyelets. So the idea to hold the journal down was to use a bit of elastic. So I'm going to hand dye that a colour that kind of matches the journal a bit better, and then I'm going to thread it through and tie it. So now the elastic is on, the plan is to have the journal slip under. Originally the plan was to have the string just on this little flap here so it would be easy to get in and out, but I forgot when I was lining up the holes. So if you're doing this after I have, make note that the holes don't go in the middle, they go more to the side with the spine. But having it in the middle there isn't really going to be too much of a problem. It's just going to make getting it in and out a little harder. Now the next eyelets are going to go in the back here. These ones are just for the closure. So to finish the closure, I just need to add this button here. So that's the clasp done. So the rest of the eyelets are going into the spines. The ones on the back have a special purpose that I won't reveal just yet, but the ones on the short spines I am going to use to hold in kind of a middle page in the flips. So they just need to be 2 on each end. And that's the last bit of eyelets and elastic, and that's all I have time for today. So next week we will get to work on the pages. Alright, thanks guys, bye!